So, I woke up, I went downstairs, weighed myself, had breakfast, and now this is what I'm doing with my time at 7:30 in the morning. Today we're talking about, did the Tibetan monks train Batman to control his sperm? Now, why do I hypothesize this? So, you think, right, Batman has had all these different women. Okay, he's had a lot of non-criminal women. He's had Catwoman. They don't have had a relationship with a poison, love, dust, and manipulation. He's probably banged Poison Ivy at some point without even knowing it. He's had Talia al Ghul. Even in like little things, very minor, explored Wonder Woman and more. You know, and it just makes me think he's just gone across all these loads of different women, and a lot of the time when he bangs them as Batman, and just randomly, like not necessarily in a relationship with them. Oh yeah, and Barbara Gordon as well. Um, and it just makes me think did the Tibetan monks teach him to control his sperm? Otherwise, surely by now he'd have an accidental kid, right? Now I know that originally Damian Wayne was, but they retconned that. So that's not his origin anymore. And even if that is the case, why would there not be more? Now you might be thinking, okay, well, why doesn't Batman just wear a condom like everyone else? What makes you think this is a Tibetan monk technique? What makes you think he just doesn't wear rubber? I mean, I think could you imagine that? I mean, him as Batman just carrying a packet of condoms in his utility belt all the time, because again, he just tracks him as Batman all the time. I don't know. And the other reason is because of the techniques the Tibetan monks taught him were insane body control, which just makes me think this isn't an ordinary case of just wearing protection. This is like a display of ancient technique. So the Tibetan monks taught him insane body control. One of the things they taught him is to fake his own death, to be able to just on command slow his heartbeat down so much that he appears dead when he's actually not. Now, if he can do that, and if they taught him that, there's no reason why they couldn't have taught him to control his sperm so the sperm didn't go into the egg cell to create a baby. I believe there is a high chance that they did that. And we've never seen it in comics where we've seen the other techniques, but maybe because monks are meant to be like virgins, so they decided in the comics to put it in as a thing of the fans have to figure out, not like let's show them because that goes against monks. Why would a monk teach Batman to be like, hey, if you want to go around slaying, pick up this technique first, man. Um, Now to the retcon. So originally, Damian Wayne was an unplanned child. Talia al Ghul pretended to have a miscarriage so Batman could focus on his mission, and then many years later, Damian Wayne showed up. He was like, "Yo, I'm your son," and yeah. But then they changed this origin story, and I think there's two different ones, or they're both the same. So Talia al Ghul, what the new thing is, the new canon. So the original one's retcon, it's not canon anymore. The new canon, Talia al Ghul drugged Batman, so he wasn't aware of what's going on, and then you can probably imagine the rest. Pretty messed up, bro. And that's now considered canon. So I don't consider that Batman not having control over his sperm to have an accidental child, because I mean he was drugged. He wasn't even aware what was going on. And then the other one as well, again, this might be part of the same. Well, no, it wouldn't have been. It wouldn't make any sense. So Damian Wayne was actually genetically engineered in a lab, um, like a test tube baby kind of, but I think altered a bit more to be bred as a warrior. So he didn't even come out of like a human properly, um, unless they made the engineer stuff and put it in a person. Again, I've researched briefly on Damian Wayne's backstory after hearing he was an accidental kid, and it's given me a few things. But again, the original one of him being in a consensual accident was retconned. So now this does really lead me to believe, why did they retcon that? Did they retcon that because they realised that was a plot hole, because they realised, hang on a minute, Batman can control his sperm. So we need Damian Wayne to be born in a way where he's still Batman's kid, but Batman had no control. They could have just made it so he was a purposeful kid, but maybe that wouldn't suit Batman, I suppose. Now focused he is on the mission, that a lot of people say this as well, Batman shouldn't really have these like long form relationships and blah blah blah, you know. Like him and Catwoman should just sort of be stay on and off, same with all the other ones, which I guess kind of makes sense. And this isn't me saying, and this isn't these other people saying, oh, Batman shouldn't have a Bat family. He should have a Bat family. What I'm saying is him having his own biological child on purpose might not entirely fit him. I'm not saying that that's really the case, but I do kind of understand that, which is why maybe they thought it might make more sense and be more interesting to keep him an accident that then appears at Batman's doorstep one day and be like, yeah, I'm Damian Wayne, I'm your kid. And Batman be like, what the fuck, bro? I mean, yeah, they definitely could have done it a different way, but yeah, that's the way they went. So, fuck you, Talia, I guess. What the hell, man? So yeah, I think it depends on the version. If you go in the original version or the retcon, well, the original now retcon version or the new version, I think there is a very high chance that though we will probably never know that the Tibetan monks did train Batman to control his sperm, because all the people he'd been with, you know, the techniques the Tibetan monks taught him, the fact he didn't have a consensual accidental child, I think there's definitely got to be a link there. I think, you know what, Batman can probably just last forever. He probably just, he's the man who never finishes, you know? Like, he can just go and go forever and just hold it in for eternity. That's probably how much control he has. Again, he can just fake his death just with the thought, just with his own mind. He can just slow his heartbeat and fake his own death. So I feel like he probably can just, he's mastered permanent semen retention. All the people on YouTube will try and tell you that's why he's so like insanely strong. That's the secret, guys. It's semen retention. It's not. Well, I mean, you have like a temporary testosterone. Oh, we're going on another rant there. That's not Batman. Talk about Batman here. So in conclusion, I think if you're on about the original version of Damian Wayne's story, where that's still part of canon continuity, there's a debate. I think we're on about the newer version. There's no reason why the monks couldn't have trained Batman to control his sperm. That's what I believe. So see you in another video.